Today's topic is heart. So as we all know that heart is a very essential organ for our body. Without heart we cannot able to survive. Okay, so in today's lecture we will see about the structure of heart, how heart is working in our body and how the blood circulation taken place in the heart. So first we will start with the basic structure of the heart. So the heart is roughly cone shaped hollow muscular organ. Okay, it is a cone shape. You can see it is a cone shape. Like cone ice cream we are eating, it is like in a cone structure. Yes, so it is a cone shaped structure and it is a muscular organ. The heart is made up of the muscles. Okay, in the heart there is no bones are there. Heart is just made up of the muscles. So that's why it is cone shaped muscular organ, and one of the thing, it is a hollow. Okay, there are different chambers are there in the heart. So heart is a cone shaped hollow muscular organ. It is about 10 cm long and is about the size of the owner's feet. Okay, so the height of heart is 10 cm long and the size of heart is approximately to the owner's fist. Okay, so as you can see over here, suppose I am talking about the size of my heart. So it is like this. Okay, the size of my heart is based on my fist. The weight about 225 grams in the women's and is heavier in a man. It's about 310 grams in the males. So the weight of heart in the women's is 225 grams, whereas the weight of heart in a males is 310 grams. Now the location of the heart. So where heart is located in our body? So we all know that heart is located in the thoracic cavity. Okay, in the chest area the heart is present. So that area is known as a thoracic cavity. The heart lies in the thoracic cavity in the mediastinum, which is the space between the lungs. Okay, so heart is situated in the thoracic cavity. So here the rib like structure you are seeing, that is the thoracic cavity. Okay, and the location of heart is between the two lungs. Okay, so you can see over here, these are the lungs. This is right lung and this side one is the left lung, and you can see the heart is over here. So heart is present in the thoracic cavity between the two lungs. It lies obliquely a little more to the left than the right and present a base above and an apex below. Okay, so you can see the lie of heart, it is a oblique. Okay, there are three lies are there. If it is in a straight position, it is known as a longitudinal line. Okay, if it is a horizontal, so it is known as a transverse line, and it is in the like this is known as a oblique line. Okay, so the heart is present obliquely. You can see in this picture. You can see the heart is lying in an oblique line, and the upper portion of the heart is known as a base, and here is a lower portion which is known as a apex. So it is the opposite one, it is a different when compared to the other organ. Ideally the lower portion we are saying as a base, but when it's come about the heart, the upper portion of the heart is known as a base, whereas the lowest portion of the heart is known as the apex. The apex is about 9 cm to the left of the midline at the level of fifth intercostal space. Okay, so you can see over here, this is the first intercostal space, this is the second, the third, fourth and fifth. So here, so the apex is at the fifth intercostal space and the base extend to the level of the second rib. Okay, so you can see it is a second rib. So base is at the second rib and the apex is at the fifth intercostal space. Now these all are the parts of the heart. Okay, so you can see in the picture there are several parts, or we can say the several chambers as well as the valves as well as the veins and the arteries are present in the heart. So we will talk like this one is the blue color you are seeing, that is the superior vena cava. So what is the function of superior vena cava? Superior vena cava is situated at the upper side of the heart and superior vena cava is collecting the deoxygenated blood from the upper portion of the body. Okay, so like from the upper extremities, from the abdomen area, from the head, scalp, so from upper part of the body, whatever deoxygenated blood are there, that is collected by the superior vena cava. Here you can see the inferior vena cava. Okay, inferior, it is situated in the apex side. Okay, that's why it is known as the inferior vena cava. And inferior vena cava is collecting the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body. And whatever deoxygenated bloods are coming, that all the blood is collected in the right atrium. So that's all about the two vena cava, superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. The function of vena cava is collecting the deoxygenated blood from the upper and the lower parts of the body. Now we will talk about the chambers of the heart. Okay, so you can see there are 4 chambers in the heart, or we can say the parts of the heart. So the first chamber of heart is known as the right atrium. The second one, that is the right ventricle. The third chamber is a left atrium and the fourth chamber is the left ventricle. So you can see there are 2 atriums and 2 ventricles are present in the heart. Okay, the right side is known as the right atrium, left one is known as a left atrium. Same like atrium, there are 2 ventricles are also present in the heart. The right side is known as a right ventricle, whereas the left side is known as a left ventricle. Now this both atrium and ventricles are connected via some of the valves. So we will talk about the valves. So between the right atrium and right ventricle, there will be the mitral valve. So you can see the valve over here. So there are 4 valves are present in the heart. So this is the first one, this is the second, the third one and at last the fourth one. So 4 chambers and 4 valves. So between the right atrium and right ventricle there will be the tricuspid valve. Okay, this is the first valve which is present between the right atrium and right ventricle. Now the second valve is present between the right ventricle. Okay, that is known as a pulmonary valve. Okay, so this is the pulmonary valve, the second one. This is the tricuspid valve. This one is known as a pulmonary valve. Now third valve is a mitral valve. Mitral valve is present between the left atrium and left ventricle, and in the left ventricle one valve is present that is known as a aortic valve. So that's all about the valves. Okay, and now we can see the pulmonary artery. So there is the one pulmonary artery comes in the heart and it is differentiated in the two parts, where it is go into the one artery will go into the right lung and another will go into the left lung. Okay, what is the function of pulmonary artery? Pulmonary artery collect the deoxygenated blood, and that artery is carry the deoxygenated blood into the both the lungs. And what happens in the lungs? In the lungs there will be the exchange of O2 and CO2 take place. So all the deoxygenated bloods came and it is transferred into the oxygenated blood. So from the lungs, the oxygenated blood came in the left atrium. From the left atrium, it will go into the left ventricle, and from the ventricle, with the help of aortic valve, it goes into the body. So you can see the red color, that is the aorta, arch of aorta, and the aorta is collecting the oxygenated blood. That's why here they have shown the red color. Red color, that means oxygenated blood, and the pulmonary artery is carrying the deoxygenated blood, so that's why they have shown the light purple color. So that's all about the heart, the parts of the heart. There are two vena cava, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. There are 4 chambers in the heart: right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. There are 4 valves in the heart: tricuspid valve, mitral valve, pulmonary valve, and the aortic valve. Now we will see about the anatomy of the heart. So as we have discussed in the previous slide, we have seen the picture of heart. So there are 3 layers in the heart, 4 chambers and 4 valves. So which are 3 layers? The heart is made up of the muscular organ. Okay, so there are 3 layers in the heart: pericardium, endocardium, and the myocardium. There are 4 chambers, that is right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, and there are 4 valves, which are mitral valve, tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, and the aortic valve. So first we will discuss about the layers of the heart. So you can see there are mainly 3 layers of the heart. The heart is made up of the 3 muscular layers. First is a pericardium. The middle one is known as a myocardium, and the innermost layer is known as a endocardium. So what is a pericardium? Pericardium is the outermost layer. Okay, so suppose this is the heart. So the outermost layer is known as the pericardium. It consists of a 2 thin fibrous protective layer that contain fluid to protect from the friction. So the pericardium is having the 2 thin layers, and between that 2 thin layers there will be the presence of fluid, and that fluid is helping the heart from the friction. Next layer is a myocardium. Myocardium is a middle layer that consists of the heart muscles. So specialized cardiac muscles are present in the myocardium layer of the heart. And the last one is the endocardium. It is the innermost layer that lines the heart. So the endocardium is the innermost and the last layer of the heart. In that, first we will discuss about the pericardium. What is a pericardium? So pericardium is a outermost layer. It is made up of the 2 sacs. Okay, it is made up of the 2 fibrous layer. The first is known as a fibrous pericardium, and the second one is a serous pericardium. Now what is a fibrous pericardium? Fibrous pericardium is the outer sac consists of the fibrous tissue. Okay, and what is a serous pericardium? Serous pericardium is the inner sac of continuous double layer of the serous membrane. So this is a microscopic structure of the pericardium layer. This is the heart. Okay, the transparent cover you are seeing Okay, here is a section of that cover. It is the pericardium, and the microscopic structure of pericardium you can see over here. Okay, so it is a outer layer of the heart. It is a pericardium. Okay, so there are two sacs are there in the pericardium. The first over here is known as a fibrous pericardium. Okay, and the serous pericardium. So what is a serous pericardium? The inner layer is known as a serous pericardium. Now serous pericardium is the inner sac of the continuous double layer of the serous membrane, which is divided into the two types, that is parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. Okay, there are two layers here, that is a parietal pericardium, and here that is a visceral pericardium. So between this the fluid is present. Okay, between the parietal pericardium and visceral pericardium there will be the presence of fluid, which is known as a pericardial fluid, and that fluid is helping the heart to prevent or protection from the friction. So that's all about the pericardium. It is the outermost layer. It is having two layers, fibrous pericardium and the serous pericardium. Serous pericardium is also divided into the two types, that is a parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. Between the parietal and visceral pericardium there will be the presence of fluid, which is known as a pericardial fluid. Next is the function of the pericardium. So how the pericardium layer is helping our heart? To limit cardiac distension and restrict excessive movement. Okay, so the pericardium layer is helping to prevent the distension of the heart, and it is also restrict the excessive movement of the heart. Next is to protect and lubricate. Because of the presence of the pericardial fluid, that fluid is helping to protect the heart from the friction, from the jerk, and it is lubricate the heart. The pericardium is composed of visceral pericardium, parietal pericardium and the pericardial cavity. So between, suppose this is the layer, suppose this is the visceral pericardium and this is the parietal pericardium. So between this the cavity is formed, that is known as a pericardial cavity, and whatever fluid present in that cavity is known as a pericardial fluid. So here you can see the section of heart layer. So first we will start with the, as we all know that there are three layers in the heart. Okay, so the outermost layer you can see over here is the pericardium. Okay, there are three sections in the pericardium. The outer one is known as a fibrous pericardium. Okay, the inner two is known as a parietal layer of the serous pericardium, and this one orange color is known as a visceral layer of the serous pericardium. Okay, and that layer is also known as a epicardium. The middle thing is the myocardium. Myocardium, that is a middle layer of the heart, and that is made up of the cardiac muscles. And the last is the endocardium. So this layer is known as a endocardium. So these all are the three layers of the heart. So first layer of heart, that is pericardium, we have discussed. Next one is a myocardium. So what is a myocardium? The myocardium is composed of specialized cardiac muscles found only in the heart. So as we all know that heart is made up of the muscles. So specialized cardiac muscle is present in the middle layer of the heart, that is the myocardium. The cardiac muscles are straightened like skeletal muscles but not under the voluntary control. Okay, so what the structure or shape or size of the cardiac muscles is same like a skeletal muscles. It is a straight muscle, but it is not under the voluntary control. Suppose skeletal muscles are in our voluntary control. Yes, suppose I want to shake my hand, if I want to raise my hand, okay, so that's in my control. Okay, but if I want to stop the heart, that is not under my control. Okay, because the heart muscles are involuntary muscles, we cannot control heart muscles like the other skeletal muscles. Myocardium is also the network of specialized conducting fibers responsible for transmitting the heart electrical signals. Okay, so there are two nodes are present in the myocardium layer, the SA node and AV node. These both nodes are responsible to transfer the electrical signals, or we can say electrical impulses from the heart. So there is a specialized network for transmitting the electrical signals which is present in the myocardium layer. Myocardium is thickest at the apex and thin out towards the base. So as we have seen the structure of heart, yes, so the below portion is known as the apex and the above portion is known as a base. So the myocardium layer is thickest in the apex and it will become thin at the base. Okay, the right wall of the left ventricle is thicker than the right because it has to pump blood around the body. Okay, so the myocardium layer is more thickest at the right side compared to the left one. Okay, so you can see over here, if there is a 4 chambers are there, suppose this is a right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Okay, so from right atrium the blood will go to the lungs, and from the right ventricle the blood is passing to the all over the body. So the thickness of the right atrium, the layer of myocardium will be more thickest in the left atrium compared to the right ventricles. And the last layer of heart is the endocardium. So endocardium is one of the innermost layer of the heart. This lines the chambers and valves of the heart. It is a thin, smooth membrane to ensure smooth blood flow through the heart. Okay, it is a thin layer, it is a very smooth layer, it's consisting of the smooth membranous structure to ensure the smooth blood flow throughout the heart. It consists of flattened epithelial cells and it is continuous with the endothelium lining the blood vessels. Okay, so the endocardium layer is made up of the flattened epithelial cells. Okay, and it is continuous with the endothelium lining of the blood vessels. Cardiac conduction system located in this layer. So the SA node and AV node. SA node, that is a sinoatrial node, and AV node, that is a atrioventrical node. So these both the nodes are located in the endocardium layer, and these both nodes are the part of the cardiac conduction system. So this is the conclusion of the layers of the heart. There are 3 layers in the heart. The first one is a pericardium. The middle layer is known as a myocardium. And the last one is known as the endocardium. This is the outer layer, this is the middle layer, and the endocardium is the inner layer of the heart. Okay, the myocardium is divided into the two types, that is the fibrous myocardium and the serous myocardium. And serous pericardium is also divided into the two types, that is parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. And between the parietal pericardium and visceral pericardium, that is the parietal cavity is there, and the fluid which is present in the cavity is known as the pericardial fluid. So we can see over here, this is the fibrous layer of the pericardium, the first layer. Okay, this is the second layer of the pericardium, that is the parietal layer, the outer serous layer. This, the inner one, is the third layer of the pericardium, that is the visceral layer, and between this the space is present, that is known as a pericardial cavity, and whatever fluid present in the pericardial cavity is known as a pericardial fluid. This layer you can see the specialized cardiac muscles, you can see the picture. So that is the myocardium layer, that is the middle layer of the heart, and that is made up of the specialized cardiac muscle. And this one is the innermost layer of the heart, that is the endocardium, made up of the specialized flattened epithelial cells. Next one is the functions of heart. So what is the function of heart? The heart is pumping continuously whenever we are taking birth till we are dying. From that period to the dead period, the heart is continuously pumping and transferring blood, the oxygenated blood, to all over the body area. So that is a prime function of the heart. The heart is supplying oxygenated blood throughout the body. The heart pumps oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to the organs, tissue and cells of the body and eliminate the waste products. Okay, so heart is pumping oxygenated blood as well as nutrient-rich blood to all the organs of our body. Moreover, it is also eliminate some of the waste product from the blood. Blood is carried from the heart to the organs through arteries, arterioles and the capillaries. So the oxygenated blood is come out from the heart with the help of arch of aorta, and from the aorta is divided into the several arteries, arterioles and the capillaries. So the oxygenated blood is supplied via arch of aorta to the arteries, to the arterioles and to the capillaries and throughout the body. Blood returns to the heart through venules and the veins, and whatever deoxygenated blood is present in the body, that is collected by the inferior and superior vena cava. After that it is collected via veins and it is transferred into the heart, and from the heart the deoxygenated blood is collected in the right atrium. From the right atrium, all the deoxygenated bloods come into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, it will go into the pulmonary valve, in the pulmonary artery, where it is go into the lungs. In the lungs, there will be the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide taking place, and the blood is getting oxygenated, and that oxygenated blood come into the left atrium, then after into the left ventricle, and with the help of aortic valve it is go into the aorta, and from the aorta it will spread all over the body. The next is the chambers of heart. So there are 4 chambers in the heart. 2 upper chambers and 2 lower chambers. Now the upper chambers are 2 atrium. The right side is known as the right atrium. At the left side of the heart is known as a left atrium. And it is having 2 lower chambers. The right side is known as the right ventricle and left side is known as a left ventricles. So in the picture you can see the location of the chambers of the heart. The first one is the right atrium. There are two atrium, right atrium and the left atrium. So this is the right side, that is the right atrium, and the left atrium. Next is the ventricle. So there is the right ventricle and the left ventricle. So now we will discuss about the chambers. There are four chambers of the heart, as we have discussed in the previous slide. The right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and the left ventricle. So you can see over here, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. So first we will talk about the two upper chambers, that is known as the atrium. There are two atrium, right atrium and the left atrium. So first we will talk about the right atrium. So what is that? Right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the body through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. From the superior vena cava, deoxygenated blood is collected from the head and upper body, whereas the inferior vena cava is collecting the blood from the legs and the lower torso region. So that is the function of the right atrium. So here you can see the right atrium. Here you can see the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. So as we all know that there is a presence of deoxygenated blood in the body that is collected with the help of superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, that is collecting the oxygenated blood, and it is collected then after in the right atrium. Now what is the function of left atrium? So left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. So here you can see the left atrium. Left atrium pulmonary vein is giving the oxygenated blood to the left atrium. Next is the lower chambers. So what is the function of lower chambers? The right ventricles and the left ventricle. So right ventricle receives deoxygenated blood as the right atrium contracts. Okay, so this is the right atrium and this is the left atrium. So in the right atrium there will be the presence of deoxygenated blood. So as this right atrium contracts, the blood go into the right ventricle. So same the deoxygenated blood go into the right ventricle. Whereas in the left atrium there will be the presence of oxygenated blood. So as the left atrium contracts, the blood will go into the left ventricle, and whatever blood go, that is the oxygenated blood, that is carrying the oxygen. So left ventricle receives oxygenated blood as the left atrium contracts. So that's all about the chambers of heart. Right atrium collect deoxygenated blood from the superior and inferior vena cava. Then after, right ventricle receive deoxygenated blood from the right atrium. When it's talk about the left sided chambers, the left atrium is collecting oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein, and that oxygenated blood go into the left ventricle. Next, we'll talk about the valves of the heart. So there are 4 valves in the heart. Between the right atrium and right ventricle, there will be the tricuspid valve. Between the left atrium and left ventricle, there will be the mitral valve. Between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery, there will be the pulmonary valve. And between the left ventricle and the aorta, there will be the aortic valve. So there are 4 valves is located in the heart. The valves are located within the chambers of the heart. Okay, so valves are present between the chambers of the heart. What is the function of the valves? So the valves control the direction of the blood flow. So whatever blood is came in the right ventricle, there is no pushing back of the blood will taking place because of the presence of the valve. If there is no valve present between the chamber, what happens? The blood will push out to the right atrium or left atrium. So it is maintaining, it is controlling the flow of the blood flow. It allows one-way flow of the blood through the chambers from the heart to the body. So it is allowing the one-way flow of the blood in the heart. So as we have seen in the previous slide, there are 4 types of valves present. The first one is a tricuspid valve, which is present between the right atrium and right ventricle. Then mitral valve, which is present between the left atrium, left ventricle. Third is the pulmonary valve, which is present between the right atrium and between the pulmonary artery. And the aortic valve is present between the left ventricle and the arch of aorta. So you can see the first is a tricuspid valve. So why it is known as a tricuspid valve? Because it is having 3 portions, 1, 2 and 3. That's why it is known as a tricuspid valve. Why it is known as a mitral valve or a bicuspid valve? Because it is divided into the 2 portions, 1 and 2. Whereas tricuspid valve is divided into the 3 portions, 1, 2 and 3. Next one is the aortic valve, which is present over here, and the pulmonary valve, which is present over here. Now, what is the valves of the heart? So, first is the tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve is an atrioventricular valve. Why it is known as the atrioventricular valve? It is because it is present between the atrium and ventricle. So that's why it is known as a atrioventricular valve. Tricuspid valve situated between the atrium and the ventricle. So tricuspid valve is present between the right atrium and right ventricle. It controls the opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle. So this is the right atrium and the lower chamber is right ventricle. So between that there will be the presence of tricuspid valve. Next one is a mitral valve. It is also an atrioventricular valve situated between the atria and the ventricles. So mitral valve is also present between the atrium and ventricle. So that's why it is known as a atrioventricular valve. It is present between the left atrium and the left ventricle. It controls the blood between the left atrium and left ventricles. So when we are taking the blood pressure, there are 2 types of pressure we are measuring, that is known as a systolic pressure and the diastolic pressure. So when the tricuspid valve is taking the action, that pressure is known as a diastolic pressure, and when the pulmonary valve and aortic valve taking into the action, it is known as a systolic pressure. So the normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 mm of Hg. So 120 is a systolic blood pressure, and 80, that is known as a diastolic blood pressure. The third type of valve is the pulmonic or pulmonary valve. So it is a semilunar valve which control the blood leaving the heart. Okay, so it is a semilunar valve controlling the blood leaving from the heart. It is situated between the right ventricle and the pulmonary valve. Okay, so this is the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So it is present between the, and this is the pulmonary artery. So it is present between the right ventricle and between the pulmonary artery, that is the pulmonary valve. It controls the flow of blood from the right ventricle. So whatever deoxygenated blood collected in the right atrium, that will go into the pulmonary artery with the help of pulmonary valve. And it prevents the blood flow back to the right ventricle as it relaxes. Okay, so when the valve is closed, the blood will not come back to the right ventricle. Next is the aortic valve. So it is a semilunar valve which controls the blood leaving the heart. So the aortic valve present between the left ventricle and at the arch of aorta. It controls the blood flow between the left atrium and the aorta. Next, the cardiovascular system. So up till now we have discussed about the structure of the heart. That we have discussed about the layers of heart. There are 3 layers: pericardium, myocardium and the endocardium. Then after we have discussed about the chambers of heart. There are 4 chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. And there are 4 valves in the heart, that is tricuspid valve, mitral valve, pulmonary valve and the aortic valve. Now the cardiovascular system consists of the heart, lungs, blood vessels. Okay, so these 3 organs forming the whole cardiovascular system. And the cardiovascular system includes 2 types of circulation, that is a pulmonary circulation and the systemic circulation. So before moving to the pulmonary circulation, let me tell you the general circulation of the heart. So the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava is collecting deoxygenated blood from the body area, and that deoxygenated blood, superior and inferior vena cava, carries to the right atrium. So all the deoxygenated blood collected in the right atrium. From the right atrium, the deoxygenated blood comes down into the right ventricle with the help of tricuspid valve. So whatever deoxygenated blood collected in the right atrium will go into the right ventricle with the help of tricuspid valve. From the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood goes into the pulmonary artery with the help of pulmonary valve, and it is divided into the, it will go to the left lung and the right lung. Now what happens in the lungs? The function of lung is transfer of the O2 and CO2. So the blood is deoxygenated. Okay, it is having the carbon dioxide. So in the lungs what happens? Carbon dioxide taken by the lungs and oxygen is go into the blood. Okay, so that is made the oxygenated blood in the lungs. So from the lungs, with the help of pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood comes in the left atrium. From the left atrium, the oxygenated blood goes down in the left ventricle with the help of mitral valve. Now, the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle goes into the aorta with the help of aortic valve. This is the red one, is the aorta, and from that the blood is supplied to all the body parts of the human body. So that is the pulmonary and the systemic circulation. So this side, from the superior vena cava, right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, from the lungs. So that circulation is known as the pulmonary circulation, the carrying of the deoxygenated blood. And carrying of oxygenated blood from the lungs to the pulmonary vein to the left atrium, left ventricle and arch of aorta, that is known as a systematic circulation. So the pulmonary circulation. The carriage of oxygen depleted blood away from the heart to the lungs via the pulmonary artery. Oxygen depleted blood, that is deoxygenated blood. The return of oxygen rich blood to the heart via pulmonary vein. Okay, so what is the pulmonary circulation? Pulmonary, that is the lungs. So the deoxygenated blood carrying from the heart to the lungs and oxygenated blood comes in the lungs is known as a pulmonary circulation. So in detail we will see what is the pulmonary circulation. The inferior and superior vena cava carry oxygen depleted blood, that is deoxygenated blood, to the relaxed right atrium of the heart. So as we all suppose, this is the heart, this is the fourth chamber of the heart, right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So whatever deoxygenated blood comes in the right atrium, the right atrium contracts and blood travels to the tricuspid valve into the relaxed right ventricle. So it is contract, okay, and whatever blood come in the right atrium, that will go down into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle contracts, the blood is pumped through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery to the lungs. As exchange occurs in the lungs, CO2 is released and oxygen is absorbed. So this is the pulmonary circulation. Now what is the systematic circulation? So the carriage of oxygen rich blood away from the heart to the body, the return of oxygenated depleted blood back to the heart, that is a systematic circulation. In a detail, oxygen rich blood travels from the lungs via pulmonary vein to the left atrium. Okay. So suppose this is the four chambers, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So oxygenated blood comes in the left atrium, then after the left atrium contract, the blood will go down to the left ventricle, and left ventricle contract, the blood passes to all over the body, that is known as a systematic circulation. The left atrium contracts and the blood flows through the mitral valve into the relaxed left ventricle. The strong left ventricle contracts and pumps oxygen-rich blood through the aortic valve into the aorta, and from the aorta carries blood to the organs to the body. So that is the systemic circulation. In next lecture, we will discuss about the conducting system of the heart.